Good evening. Hopefully you can hear me okay. The reason we're a little bit late is because we're always a little bit late, but also because the power cable to my USB hub had frayed and was making crackling noises. And nothing was charged and nothing was detected by the computer. So, yeah, excuse me if I'm a little bit frazzled. There were meant to be more players. Various people are unwell. Stay away from that lettuce, Americans. And I don't know what's wrong with the people from Europe, but there you go. Before we get started, I just want to say a few things. This is going to be a relatively short session, unless things go awry. And I will be stopping to explain the mechanics and so on as we go, because it's meant to be like a demo session for people and something I can refer backers to from the Kickstarter. Feel free to ask questions in the chat, and if the opportunity arises, I will address those questions. Let's see. I've been taking a bit of a battering on Reddit in particular over the last couple of days, where some nice people tried to promote the game. There was some backlash. So just quickly, I don't let my politics interfere with my games as I write them. It might inform them, but I'm not a propagandist. I am not using AI in the book at all. I have been stressing this point. However, in promotional material and stuff like this, I do, because largely I didn't have any of the art, because the point of the Kickstarter was to raise money for the art. The crow has 3 legs because it's a mythical crow from Japanese culture, not because of AI. And yeah, I figure the best use of the money raised by the Kickstarter is to improve the actual books at the end of it. So that's why I use AI on some of the advertising and promotion and so on. But not in the book, because I want to pay real artists. I think that's about it for addressing any issues and so on. So yeah, we're down some players, but it might work all right, actually, for running this as a demo game and explaining things as we go along. So let's bring in the players. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Hello.
All right. I need to move you guys over here so that when I'm looking at you, I'm looking at the camera. And then I need my notes open over here. So I only ran off the adventure using the generating tools from Autumn Moon about an hour ago, because I thought it would be a good excuse to demo what that can produce as well. So just be aware. All right. And yes, I'm back on the energy drinks, but at least they're the healthy ones, comparatively speaking. All right. Tonight's adventure is The Ghost in the Granary, ? And it's going to be a little bit more structured than usual. Before we get into it, can you guys quickly introduce the characters that you're playing, starting with Takamori?
I am Takamori Jiro. I am a stern samurai who's been sent to investigate the goings-on in this little village.
And Chobai? Or Chobei, I think.
I'm afraid you're going to have to introduce him because I haven't had a chance to read it yet.
I think he's the merchant.
Yeah, he's a merchant, but that's about all I know about him.
Okay, so merchants are pretty much the lowest rung in Japanese society at this time. Merchants and traders, other than criminals. But they wield a lot of power because they travel a lot, they have a lot of money, and they know what's going on and how it's going on, and they know the price of fish, basically. So he's bit of a social climber, I think, and his trading house is heavily in debt to a criminal syndicate. So you're trying to cozy up to the samurai class for a bit of protection and investment. Not that the samurai class is necessarily hugely wealthy, at least not in monetary terms at this time, because they were paid in rice stipends.
Yeah, I don't see on here any money that he has or trade goods or anything.
You should have. Let me see if I can find the character sheet quickly before we get going. All right, I'm no judgery because Discord doesn't play well with anything. Let me see.
1 gold. Okay, 1 gold, 8 silver, 0 copper, 2 giri, and a porter's trunk. But
Yeah.
you actually have some sake that he's trading?
Well, you can have some basic trade goods if you want. You can have some.
Kind of makes him pointless as a trader if he doesn't have anything.
Well, except you're being sent on a mission, and I might explain why your trading house is in trouble. But yeah, you can have some moderately priced sake in your box that you're carrying around. Okay, I can quit Discord so I can have some processor back. Thank you very much. All right. Too many tabs. It's not exactly Critical Role around here, folks. Okay. So currently, you're both in a fortress town, about halfway up the slope of one of the nearby mountains in the area. It's a little bit more populous. Chobei has been doing some business there. You've sold the goods that you brought. You picked up the sake. You have a reasonably good relationship with the powers that be in this area. While Takamori is a samurai who's looking to kind of earn his reputation and make his way up the ranks. You've missed a lot of the recent fighting because you keep being sent on errands. So perhaps a little resentful at that. All right, you've both been summoned into the residence of the local minor lord that Takamori serves. His lordship, the daimyo, is not there, but his household steward is, knelt at a low table, sipping some tea as you're brought in by the guards. Jiro, Chobei, please come in, sit down. He gestures to 2 stuffed straw pillows on the other side of the table.
I bow and make the typical genuflections.
Yeah, bow. Hey. Go sit.
He is only the steward, so you don't need to do the full set of bowing and scraping, but just enough. The receiving room smells of fresh rush matting that has been laid on the floor and cooling charcoal from the braziers. It's cold at night as autumn comes to a close, but warm enough during the day, at least indoors. You notice each other as you're both ushered in. Perhaps you thought you were there for different reasons when you were summoned, but it seems to be the same reason since you're being briefed together. The steward, Hayashi, places a folded report on the table between you. The village of Kanazawa has missed its rice delivery, which in these times of tumult is concerning. We sent a messenger to talk to the headman, and he rolls his eyes slightly. The headman says that the communal granary is haunted. I'm told that an abacus counts by itself and that a dead man walks in wet footprints around the place. I'd prefer an answer that can be entered into an account book, if at all possible. We need to account for this missing rice, and we need someone braver than a groveling peasant to look inside and recover what they owe. I know it's not a grand task, but it is important to keeping our soldiers fed and on the road.
I'll do anything I can to help.
And for you, Chobei, of course, you will be financially rewarded.
The Three Cranes Trading House of Sake will be glad to help.
Excellent. I could hope for nothing more. Is there anything you need to know before you depart?
Is there anything you haven't told us that you do know?
Not that I know of. He opens the report and just quickly scans through it. There's a map showing the way there, here. You can take this copy of the report with you. I had another one made. It's not a especially wealthy village, but an example must be made. We can't allow superstitious stories to prevent people from paying their taxes. Otherwise, every village will have a ghost or goblin or some other nonsense preventing them paying their dues. He folds the report up again and slides it over to Chobai.
Is there a map of the little village itself?
No, but he does know something about it because it's his business to know. Let me just find. Okay. At the base of the mountain where the land turns to hills, Kanazawa is buried between two of those hills in a small valley with a stream running through it. There are around 400 people there at last census. They primarily farm rice. There's a miller, a brewer, which maybe you know of them, a blacksmith. There's a small shrine, and there is a tea house that receives visitors. There is a small postal relay station between us and them if you need shelter on the way. I think there is a headman. I can't recall his name for the life of me, but it's quite a pleasant little village by all accounts.
How long has this been going on? When did the rumors start?
Only last tax period, really. They didn't send what they owed. We sent a messenger to gently prompt them. And then we heard this story about this ghost conveniently haunting their granary. So, but it's not a particularly wealthy village. Looking back to their records, they haven't sent an enormous amount each time. It's mostly that we just cannot allow superstitious excuse making.
Understood.
Well, I don't think there's much to do for us just standing here then. We might as well head out.
Very well. Good luck. And he bows his head slightly to the pair of you.
Sure. As we're leaving, look to Chobe. Can you handle yourself on the road?
In which way? Do you mean, can I run fast enough so that you're in the way between me and danger? Yes.
Well, that'll work.
One of the door guards stifles a laugh as you say that, as you pass him. And then you're outside. The air is damp with that mouldering leaf smell of the autumn to it. The town is busy all around you. The harvest has ended, so it's threshing and animals being brought down from the high fields, that sort of thing. So it is busy all around you. Do you both have horses or similar?
Not on the sheet.
Yeah, also not on the sheet.
If it's not on the sheet, you don't have it.
Yep.
Yes, we don't.
Yeah. All right, looks like you're going to have to hoof it, but from the map, it doesn't look like Kanazawa is that far away. You might have to overnight one night on the road, so that's all.
All right. I suppose we're walking then.
Yeah, I fall in behind Jiro as appropriate.
Yeah, you're used to walking and carrying all this stuff, so it's not too much bother for you. All right. If you're not doing anything else in preparation, you can get on the road. The first day's travel passes uneventfully. You would have preferred to have set off earlier, but you weren't summoned until relatively late in the day. You do manage to make it to the post house before night completely falls, and the guards and the clerks stationed there are happy to welcome you in and get news from the town and so on. They've also themselves had a fresh delivery of sake, which is good for them, not so good for Chobe because he can't sell them any. But they're happy enough to share their sake with you as you sit around the tables late at night.
Well, just, do general talk with them, news of what's going on in that. And then see if any of them drops any news about the little village we're going to.
Are you trying to tease that out of them, or are you just waiting for it to come out naturally?
No. Like, just hint things, saying, yeah, like we're going to this place, I've heard it's a nice little village, and any of you know anything about it? I've never been there before. The usual.
Okay. It's a chance to show off how some of the rolling works. Okay, so when you roll a skill, you're rolling either a d20 or 2d10, depending on the situation. This is a relaxed, calm situation, so it'd be 2d10. They're not particularly resistant to talking about anything and are happy to talk about anything, so I'm just going to set a generic difficulty rather than having them resist it of 10, and I'm going to give you +1 because everyone is well lubricated by sake. So you'll be rolling your rhetoric skill +1 against a difficulty of 10.
I rolled 11 plus the 4 makes it 15.
Okay, so reasonably good success if we want to interpret it further than just succeeding, because it's 5 over, but just getting over is enough. After a few more drinks and a few more hints, the clerk sort of leans forward over the table and says, yes, supposedly there's a ghost in Kanazawa village. The merchant the porter who delivered our sake was all of a flutter about it. He said wet footprints have been seen, that an abacus can be heard clicking at night, that they daren't go near the granary. The shrine keeper has put some magic rope around it to bind the spirit in there, but he didn't know whether that had worked or not. He wasn't in much of a hurry to get home, I can tell you that much.
Well, it's a interesting ghost tale.
I have a point in literature.
Yeah.
Could I make a roll to determine if I've heard of anything like this, wet footprints particularly?
Yes. So you've got plenty of time to think. We'll make it difficulty 15, though, because it's more sort of arcane lore than literary stuff exactly. So 2d10 plus your literature score versus difficulty of 15.
All right. No, 7.
Your mind races through all the many stories of ghosts and yokai and everything that you've heard. There's a few things sort of teasing at your brain, but not having access to the books, you can't confirm anything. So you're not on solid enough ground to offer an opinion particularly. But it doesn't sound unlike ghost stories that you've heard. Seems perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, I'll just add that to the conversation.
One of the guards leans forward conspiratorially, and the last battle that I was in, I was knocked unconscious with a tetsubo, and when I awoke, I was in a field of corpses. He shudders as if he still feels unclean. There were strange things moving through the bodies, peeling them open and eating the flesh. So there are strange things in this world, believe me, and there could well be a ghost. But the ghost of a clerk, no offense, doesn't sound particularly scary.
No, not really.
Well, I will look into it regardless.
Ah, well, when you come back to town, you can stop in and tell us the story of what you found.
Oh,
Cups are filled again. Kanpai!
Well, we drink, but try not to get too drunk.
It's sake.
Okay.
I don't get drunk on sake.
You'd be surprised how it does go straight to your head, that stuff.
I found it usually goes to your head after the first bottle's gone. Then you suddenly stand up and find out you can't stand up.
Well, you're supposed to drink it slightly warmed, right?
Yep.
And so the vapor kind of goes straight to your head. We used to drink sake when we were playing our enormous L5R campaign, and it does tend to get to you quicker than you think.
When we went to the SCA, the Society of Korean Activisms, every year when I went there, we would have a Japanese night where we spent drinking sake from about 7 till about 4 in the morning.
Nice.
And then you'd stand up and go, "Oh, I think I'll sit back down."
Oh, I am drunk. All right. Just a second. Like I said, I generated this not long before we started. So, okay. So the next morning, with clear heads, though the guards and the clerk here at the post house have much less clear heads and sort of wave you on your way, looking slightly miserable. Chobe, if you choose, you can have sold them a few pots of sake to replenish their stock, and you can have an additional silver coin if you want.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yes, I'll do that.
Yeah, they ask you, well, what trade are you carrying?
Yeah.
And they replace their pots, and you hear the shattering of the emptied clay pots out back of the post house as they break them. There's almost like a drift of empty sake pots back there, all broken.
Do they break them for a reason, by the way? Do they break them for a reason? The empty pots?
Good luck.
Fun, boredom.
Oh, okay.
You don't know. The clay pots are relatively cheap and disposable, kind of like how they were in a lot of other cultures as well.
I can't seem to add this to your sheet there you gave us.
Oh, you should be able to.
It's locked for some reason. It's not letting me.
Okay, well, I don't know, notepad document or something. I must have accidentally saved them incorrectly. Never mind. All right. So, bright and early, you make your way on further down from the mountain. In the town, higher up the mountain, you could almost believe it was already winter. But down here, rapidly, things turn less cold and more damp than anything else. The road follows a cold mountain stream that it joins up with some way down from the post house. So you're constantly followed by the sound of running water as you make your way down. You enter a broadening valley. Harvested paddies lie flat and gold brown beneath the pale, cloudy sky. There are grain drying racks everywhere that mostly stand empty, and the water in the irrigation ditches is low and clear. Kanazawa should be just beyond these fields. However, you see someone, a porter, without any cargo, hobbling along using a stick to support his ankle that seems to have been twisted. Maybe this is the porter from the post house who has been making slow going.
Like the one we had just seen, or the one that brought them the sake earlier?
The one that brought them the sake before.
Going very slowly.
But he is hobbling on the road in the same direction. Okay, you call out to him. He stops, turns, squints against the light, and when he realizes you're a samurai, bows deeply.
No need for that right now. Just a few questions.
Yes, my lord.
How were you injured?
I put my foot into a rabbit hole at the side of the road when I stood aside to let a man on a horse pass me.
Sorry, I have no healers with me.
But I just need to rest. Once I get back to the village, I'll be fine.
You haven't been to the Granary lately, have you?
The Granary? I passed it on my way out to the post house, but I haven't been back there yet. There's a story going around the village that it's haunted.
Is there? Could you tell me more? Anything unique going about?
They say there was a man standing in the rice when some farmers went to place their rice in the store. He was wet through, no sandals, barefoot, all bloated from the water, with water running off him, making the rice damp, making it rot. He looked at the farmers, so they say, and asked why 9 becomes 7. Doesn't seem to make much sense to me, but I don't know. They didn't describe him much more than that. I think they just ran in terror and didn't remember much. And they said they could hear an abacus clicking behind them, and they threw the doors shut and ran away. That's the story everyone's telling, anyway. My lord.
Thank you. His information will provide useful. You may go.
Thank you, my lord, though I fear you'll overtake me. And he continues to hobble down the road.
Chobe, did any of that add up to you? 7
Not
becomes
much.
9?
No, not much. It sounds foolish. Why don't we get there so we can actually see for ourselves?
Fair enough.
Yeah, you do rapidly overtake the crippled porter, and soon Kanazawa comes into view. So Kanazawa sits where the valley widens enough for more rice paddies that are less strung out down the valley. The houses are all gathered on a slightly higher ground above the wet fields. There's dark timber, pale plaster under heavy roofs, which are thatched with reeds for the most part. The stream that you've been following down from the mountains into the hills runs along the eastern edge of the settlement and turns a small, slow water wheel before passing under a narrow bridge. There should be people moving about doing stuff, even though the harvest has been brought in. And there are a few people dotted around, but particularly to Chobe's eye, who has more experience traveling and visiting different villages, it feels kind of offset, like people don't want to be outside and they're only out doing the essentials. And they're all steering very, very clear of the big raised granary toward the center of the village. Carts have been left on the far side of the yard, and as you get closer, you can see that a knotted rope has been strung around the granary.
Do we want to talk to anyone before we go look at it?
I assume the miller would know something about the granary.
That's up to you, my lord. Do you want to check it out first, or do you want us to talk to anyone first?
If we're going to be traveling together, as long as you're following the laws of the land, you can just simply refer to me as Jiro and speak openly.
Of course, my lord. I'll remember that. Thank you, my lord.
Jiro just sighs.
So you want to go to the mill first?
Unless Chobe has any ideas where to go first, I assume another sake house or tea house would be good for rumors.
I will remind you, so beside the farmhouses, there seems to be a larger farmhouse closer to the village, which is probably the headman's house. There's the communal granary with the rope around it. There's the rice mill, which is where the water wheel is. Chobe's amazing sense for booze tells him that building over there is the sake brewery. Smoke pours from the chimney of a small forge towards the outskirts of town, closer to where you are. There's a shrine on the opposite side of the village. The tea house is not far from the blacksmith. And then there's the paddies and the various small farmhouses, irrigation gates, and so on. And then the hill on the far side of the village is a lot steeper and planted with cedars, which don't seem to have been particularly ravaged by the villagers looking for firewood or construction materials. Probably because it's too steep to be convenient.
Did you want to speak with the headman first, my lord?
I'll take that under advisement, and at which I start heading towards the headman's home.
Okay. This house is larger than its neighbors without being grand, at least not to your eyes. As you approach, a man comes out and introduces himself as Gorobai. Just let me find the description of him. Okay. So Gorobai, the headman, looks to be in his mid-50s. He has a broad face with widely set eyes. It looks like he's been in station as headman for some time because he seems to have accrued quite a lot of wealth and has been living a slightly easier life long enough to lose some of the calluses from his hands. He seems slightly perturbed to see you, but that's rapidly replaced by the usual bowing and scraping. Please, my Lord Samurai and Chobe, is it? He squints slightly. Yes, come in. Take a seat. Can I get you something to eat? Something to drink?
Tea will be fine.
Wife, tea. He calls out. You hear a clattering coming from elsewhere in the house. Come in. Sit. It's starting to get cold out there, isn't it? Warm yourselves here. He sits you down around the fire pit and joins you. You can practically hear his bones creaking as he sits down. Oh, what brings you to our humble village, my lord?
I'm here in order to help the tax situation and deal with your issues at the granary.
Ah, I see. I might have thought they would send a priest, perhaps, some sort of magician, but I'm sure you'll be a match for whatever supernatural creature is haunting the place, my lord. Yes. Well, as you know, we are normally on time with our offerings and our taxation. It pains me a great deal. In all the 20 years I've been headman, we haven't been delinquent on our rice shipments, even once. If it were not an exceptional circumstance, then you would have had what your lordship demands. But unfortunately, nobody dare go near the place. The grain has not all been brought in to the granary. What was stored there, we've had to destroy half of it because it got wet and began to rot. I'm at a loss as what to do. The shrine keeper put ropes around it to try and bind the spirit, but it only lasted a night. Then it came back.
Well, fear not. I'm not here to discipline anyone. I'm only here to investigate.
Well, if I can aid you in any way, my lord.
Does the phrase 7 becomes... Why does... What was it? How does 7 become 9?
He squints slightly. His eye twitches as he thinks hard. No, I can't. That doesn't mean anything to me, my lord.
Has anyone in the village passed recently or been And I know this is perhaps an uncouth subject, but you can speak openly with me. Has anyone ever been recently murdered in the village?
My lord, no. We are a quiet and peaceful village. That's why this haunting perplexes me so much. No one has died recently. No one has been killed recently. Certainly not in... I can't remember the last time there was a murder here. We're a quiet, peaceful village of some 400 souls. But we're not a den of thievery and murder, my lord.
I didn't want to make that implication. I apologize if I've offended you.
No, the mistake is mine. I misunderstood.
Well, then you are forgiven.
Thank you, my lord. But if there's any aid that I or any other villager can offer you, do not hesitate to ask.
Chobe, do you have any...
Yeah, so we've heard tales of this ghostly apparition. Does it come at any certain time? Does anyone know more about it than you do? Has anyone seen it more often than you have?
Only 2 farmers claim to have seen it directly. Many have said they have heard the clacking of an abacus around the granary, but only those 2 claim to have actually seen anything.
Can you give us their names?
Damn you.
You just say they dropped the names.
I and Bay.
Name generator.
Yeah, I and Bay. I can take you to their farm if you wish.
Well, if this supposed ghost is what's keeping you from delivering the rice, then we should go inspect it.
Ah, very well.
Speaking with them is a good idea.
His wife comes in with the tea just as you're ready to leave. Wife, set that down and fetch me my walking stick.
How close by does she set the tea?
She sets it down on a small side table just next to the fire pit.
She already have it poured?
No, she didn't have it poured yet.
Shit. Okay. I was going to
So she scurries off and gets the headman's walking staff, and then he leads you outside and takes you down to the farm. So this is one of the smaller farms. The rushes that form the thatch need replacing. The back of the roof has bent and folded in slightly. Clearly they're somewhat down on their luck and have one of the less good positions to have their farm. Since the harvest is over, they're just kind of sat outside on the ground playing dice with one another. They look to be brothers, very similar looking. When they notice a samurai approaching, of course, they immediately bow. My lord, what brings you to our humble farm? And Gorabai, what's this about? Is it about the ghost? Gorabai nods sagely. Answer his lordship's questions, if you please. And Chobe as well, of course.
I'm waiting for Chobe to say something, or for Jiro to say something before Chobe speaks.
You both have witnessed the ghost. Is that correct?
They nod strenuously. Yes, my lord.
Was it at a certain time?
It was night. The moon was up. The sun had completely gone. We were loading our rice into the granary, and then it appeared before us out of nowhere. A hideous, fat, bloated thing, wet, dripping water, with a gurgling voice.
Did it sink into the mud or stand above it?
It sank into the rice, and everything it touched began to blacken and rot.
Did it just hover there where you were standing there, or approach you, or run from you, or?
We were rooted in terror, and then it spoke to us, saying, "How does 7 become 9?" They sort of look to each other to make sure they got that right, and then both nod. And then our legs stopped shaking, and we ran.
And it never moved from the spot?
No, but others have heard its abacus clacking around the granary, around the village.
Would you be able to show us the spot where it was?
You're the merchant, and you're asking. So they go, we don't wish to go back to that place until the spirit is removed.
I understand that, but my lord, as I gently point towards Jiro, will probably insist on it.
Chobe is my traveling companion for the moment, and he can speak with some authority. I will ask you to join us. I can promise my full support. If you are to be harmed, you may leave immediately if you are afraid. Just show us where you've found it.
Very, very well, my lord. They quickly duck inside their hut to get their things. Okay, so in the base game, there isn't exactly a perception skill. Instead, you make saving throws against an appropriate statistic, which is usually judgment for perception type things. So can you both make a D20 judgment defiance roll? It's usually about 2/3 to 3/4 of your stat. On your sheets, it should be on the right.
Mine's 8. I got 8.
Yep.
What was the skill?
It's defiance. It's a score next to your statistics.
It's one of your attributes.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm rolling under?
D20. Under.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Equal to or under, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, which defiance
Judgment.
was it?
Judgment.
Oh, okay. All right. Learning the new attributes. 5 under 9.
Okay. As they slide the door open and duck inside, you see that for a very, very poor household, they have a couple of very shiny, new-looking hooks for harvesting hung on the wall inside. But they're only gone for a second, but you do both notice that. It seems perplexing and out of place. And then they come back out again with their hats and straw cloaks in case it rains. Very well, my lord. To the granary, then. We'll lead the way.
Grim, before you continue, so you said that they have new cutting size?
Yeah, harvesting tools for rice, where you cut at the bottom. Yeah, they have brand shiny new looking ones.
Are there new baskets or anything else like that around?
Not that you can see. Make another judgment defiance roll.
No.
Okay. No, that's all you noticed. 2 shiny new blades.
Okay. I don't say anything. I just follow Jiro.
Yeah. All right. So they lead you back across the empty harvested paddies back towards the village and into the little village square that surrounds the granary. It's old-fashioned, but quite stoutly built, raised up off the ground to keep the damp and the pests out. And there is this knotted rope strung all the way around it. What's it called? Chimenois, I think. You normally find them at temples, strung around boulders and things. They're meant to be sort of spiritual or holy barriers or markers that you're entering a holy site, or they can be used to same way we'd use protective magical circles or whatever in other games, that sort of thing. This one looks to have been fairly hastily tied, knotted, and strung around the place. Neither of you are particularly spiritually inclined, but it doesn't surprise you that this wouldn't be that spiritually powerful. So yeah, the two men lead you up to the granary. They seem to be quite afraid. They keep glancing at each other and step slightly closer to each other as you get close to the place. It is daytime, I suppose.
So was the spot you saw the apparition inside the granary or outside?
Yes, it was inside.
Can you see it from the door if I open the door?
Allow me. He steps up and unknots the rope where it covers the door. Lets the sides of the rope drop away, and then opens the door to the interior of the granary.
Wait. Let me in first.
Yes, my lord. And quite happily steps back out of the way.
Be inappropriate for me to draw my sword at this time. I'm just trying to go with the cultural.
Yeah, you're facing what may be a threat.
Probably just
so
put
you
your
should
hand on it.
Yeah, I'll put my robe back and brandish my daisho. Get ready to draw.
Yeah, you put your primary hand on the handle, and your other hand on the hilt with your thumb ready to flick it free.
Yeah,
so you can draw 3 in one cut.
I do have that ability. So
the Aedo, yeah. All right. The hazy light shows dust from the rice grains milling around. As you step forward, your shadow blocks out some of the light, which drops the visibility for a moment. And then you're able to move slightly to the side, and the sun comes in better. You look around. There are sacks of rice. There are pots of rice. This is way less than should be in here. This should be basically stacked to the rafters after a harvest. And it's not. It's only about a third of the way full. There are a few grains of black, rotten rice scattered on the floor. Someone must have come in and cleared out whatever damage the ghost did. And the boards in the center of the granary on the lower floor are swollen and darker than the boards surrounding it.
Are there any wet stained footprints?
Anything like that would have probably dried away fairly quickly. These buildings are kept dry and they're full of rice that absorbs moisture. So it's surprising enough that the boards are a little bit damp in the center, but they are.
Is the headman still with us?
Yeah, he's still with you. He's back with the two farmers.
So the rotted rice has been removed. Where did you put it?
We threw it in the village midden. We didn't want it contaminating anything else. And the shrine keeper said it was spiritually unclean.
And how much of it was there you had to dispose of?
He points to he comes to the door and points to the area of damp. There were 3 or 4 sacks there that these gentlemen had just brought in. We had to throw all of them away.
Okay.
Then
where are the rest of the sacks that should be in here?
People are refusing to deposit their rice here, even though it's the safest, driest place in the village, and it's where we draw our taxation rice from. We need to bring everything here to get an accounting of how much rice everyone has contributed. The miller keeps the records.
Then, if they're afraid to bring it in here, why didn't you simply take steps to gather it and send it directly, accounting for it as you went,
because we must make a proper accounting of everything that is placed into the granary. There is a right way to do things. When you buy and sell material from your ledgers, you keep careful note, do you not?
I do, but I also don't have a lord who can cut my head off, standing over my shoulder.
I'm sure our merciful and beneficent Lord would never do such a thing to a hard-working village that has always paid on time in the past.
Yes, I've already promised to them that they are in no threat of punishment at this time.
Yeah, at this time, but we're set here to judge whether that punishment is coming or not.
Gorabai says that. My lordship and my friend Chobai, there may or may not be a ghost. I don't know, but the fear amongst the villagers is very real, and until that is resolved, we cannot gather the rice, account for it properly, or pay our taxes.
You could gather the rice, have each person hold it in their homes, go through an account for it, and then send it out without it ever meeting to the granary.
There is a proper way of doing things, and not everybody...
It sounds like someone has diverted rice and is hiding the fact, and that this whole thing is a scheme.
Is there anyone in town?
Such an accusation. That's a very serious matter.
It is, and unless someone shows me different, it's probably what I will be saying to the Lord.
Personally,
sorry, my lord, go on.
Personally, I find these rumors dubious, but if I do not give them my utmost attention, things can't go back to the proper way, as you said. And Chobe, I understand your concern, but the proper way of doing things must be reinforced.
Rice rots in the patty if you don't bring it in. So there has to be a reason why they haven't brought it in.
The ghost.
Or it's missing and has been brought in but has been diverted somewhere else. There's a good way to find out. Why don't you finish looking here, and I'll make a check through the different fields and paddies.
Chobe, we are peasants. We are the strong backs upon which the land is founded. I will not have a merchant besmirch my honor in this way. I demand that you retract your accusation.
I haven't accused anything. I'm simply saying what I will say.
You have suggested.
Give me a reason not
I believe Chobe is speaking in the hypothetical.
Right.
We are here to investigate, and to do so, we must follow procedures. Even if that...
find...
My Lord Jiro,
You may speak.
Then let this be a mere suspicion and leave it unvoiced in front of the people of this village, who must respect me and follow my orders if your investigation is to succeed.
Lord Jiro, why don't you investigate here and let me go and make an account of the rice paddies?
All right. I look to the two farmers. You're dismissed.
They bow low and scurry off back towards their farm.
As they start walking, I ask them, you want to show me the way to the rice paddies? I need to make an account of them all.
The miller keeps the accounts, Chobe.
Yes, and I'm going to do an independent account by physically going through each rice paddy.
Okay, so they take you on a tour of the paddies. Now, let's see, what would be an appropriate skill to roll? Do you have any farming related skills?
Let's see what you got for skills in here. I don't know what covers what here. If trade.
Okay. Yeah, trade. A lot of trade is done in rice, and rice is used in place of money to barter a lot of the time. So that seems like a reasonable substitute.
Well, and what I'm looking for is the rice in the field still? Is basically verifying what the headman said. He said they're not bringing in the rice. Okay.
Yeah.
So if they're not bringing in the rice, it's still in the paddies.
It's been harvested. It hasn't yet been stored.
That's not what you told me.
But checking around will still give you some idea. So make a trading roll, 2d10 plus trading.
Because he specifically said that it wasn't harvested, that they wouldn't go out and bring it in.
Well, then I misspoke. What I meant to say was they hadn't brought it into the granary, but this is still going to be useful to do a survey of the baddies. So
this is my assumption right now, is that it was all harvested, and then a bunch of it was diverted somewhere else, and this whole ghost story is hiding the fact. So while he's looking to see if the ghost is real, I'm gonna see if the rice really went where he said it was going.
Okay. If make a trade.
If he did harvest it, then there's bags of it sitting somewhere.
Yeah.
You can't just harvest it and lay it on the ground.
So make a trading roll.
Is this D20 or D10 for this one?
2d10. You've got plenty of time and you're not in a hurry.
And I have, let's see. I have 5 current chi. I'm going to spend it to get my Zanshin bonus. Spend a point to get my Zanshin bonus.
Okay. I'll allow that to cover the whole scene. So you're like fiercely focused on examining the fields and doing calculations.
Wow. 0-0, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. Right, so
that was a waste.
So when you're rolling 2d10, obviously you still need to get 20 for a crit, but there's only a 1 in 100 chance of getting that, and a double 1 is a critical failure, but you're also much more likely to get middle results. So if a character's good at something, it's generally good to do that. The D20 is in emergencies and difficult situations and stressful situations. All right. You borrow an abacus to do some of the calculations. So when people hear you clicking away on the abacus as you walk around the village looking at fields, some of them get a little antsy or jump slightly because they're expecting the ghost. But according to your calculations, these fields should have produced more than enough rice. And the way in which these fields are fairly established, they should have been paying more in tax before. You double check against the records that the steward gave you, and you're not 100% certain, but you're as certain as you can be that they have been underpaying for years and years and years. So some of the rice has definitely gone somewhere that it shouldn't. But then where? During your survey as well, checking into the houses and so on, you can see that they're storing grain in their attics, in sacks, and in big clay jars and things around their homes at the moment, which is okay for a while, but it needs to be put into the granary sooner rather than later, where it's better protected from vermin and damp and all the usual problems. So this is not immediately time sensitive, but quite time sensitive. You reckon about 20% of their rice crop short has been going somewhere else for at least a decade.
Okay.
Right, that takes quite a while. So we'll go back to Jiro for a bit on his investigations.
I just have a question about the stuff that's here. Do I know if how it's normally transported to the castle?
Porters, and they would load it up on mules and so on in the sacks and so on. It would be weighed and measured at the granary. The taxation portion would be extracted, and then it would be transported up probably the same road that you came down up to the town where it would be paid in.
And were the porters, are they from this village, or
are
the mules from the village?
People from the village and mules from the village, yeah.
Okay, so we could just organize that here. All right.
Yeah.
Go.
Okay. So meanwhile, Jiro has a few hours to poke around because that's how long the survey is going to take.
All right. I'm heading to the Miller's home.
Okay. Un momento, por favor. The mill. Okay, the mill belongs to slightly elevated peasant craftsman called Heizo. It has a small, thin water wheel that only just about turns, creakingly, occasionally stopping. It makes lots of rattling sounds. And you're not too certain that it's a particularly good one, but since it's the only one, that's the one everyone uses. The man you take to be Heizo is quite a stout, somewhat portly man, and he's currently out back digging to create a larger water reservoir so that he can get more power to his wheel and keep it running if there's ever a drought. So he doesn't notice you arrive, or the village headman. He's busy digging.
Hello.
Takes a couple more hellos, but he does eventually notice you. He digs his wooden shovel into the dirt, wipes his hands off, and comes over to you and the headman and bows. Ah, my lord, welcome.
I have arrived in your village to investigate your local haunting.
Ah, yes, the ghost that haunts the granary. It's definitely troublesome. I have more rice to husk and nowhere to put it.
And when did you notice this start? With the new moon?
It's only a handful of days. I'm usually busy here, so I have to rely on second-hand information, my lord. So I and Bay are the ones who told everyone in the village about it down at the tea house. They came rushing there once they found their wits and told everyone the story, apparently. I was here working.
Now, I have an associate of mine that's more inclined to deal with business. Is there a chance that I may request your records?
Of course, my lord. A man of your rank can demand anything, and I see the headman is with you. Doubtless your investigation has his blessing. I can certainly fetch the records for you. They're inside. Would you care to follow me?
Yes.
All right. Leads you inside. It is deafeningly loud in here. Nothing is made particularly well. Not that you've seen that many water wheels, but everything seems to be clanking and groaning, and it's quite deafening, really. He rummages around in a large wooden trunk off to one side of this level of the house, and brings you an armful of rolled up and folded pieces of paper. The records, my lord.
Thank you. I'll have to borrow these.
Yes. Just a moment. He hands them over to the headman. So, hold these a moment, and then fetches a rice sack, and they pour all the scrolls and paperwork into the sack. So you now have a big sack full of accounts.
All right. I'll ask the headman to carry that for me.
Of course, my lord.
And you seem to be having some trouble with your water wheel. Has that been going on long?
Yes. Since I inherited it from my father, he was no engineer, my lord. We keep it going. It's slightly better than doing it by hand.
Perhaps once the taxes... Oh, I'm sorry. Continue.
I was just going to say the stream is not really powerful enough to drive a water wheel, but we do our best.
Is it perhaps caught on anything? Is there any way we could provide help once the taxes have started returning?
If if the Lord up at the town would be willing to invest, we could cut a broader channel. I could increase the size of my water bank here. That would help a great deal. Then I could store up water and just run the wheel during the harvest season at a much more powerful degree. So yes, it could be done. If his lordship wished to invest, I would certainly welcome it.
Well, thank you for the records and your time.
It is my honor, my lord.
Where am I going next? I'll take my leave of there, and I will. We haven't gone to the large farmhouse yet, have we?
That was the headman's house.
Right.
So
right,
yes.
Right. I'll head to the shrine.
Okay. My lord, might I return to my house with these records? I don't think I'm much further use to you otherwise. Just slowing you down.
I will take the records with me. Thank you for carrying them.
As you wish, my lord. He hands you the bag. It's not very heavy, just unwieldy, and hobbles off back towards his house. Okay, so you are headed to the shrine. Okay. The shrine sits above the houses amongst the cedar and maple trees. Its torii gate is small. Its stone basin cold enough to hurt your fingers when you cleanse yourself. But from up here on the slope, the whole village is visible, including the granary roof and the stream flashing past beyond it. Aishun is the shrine keeper, and he's sat in meditation when you arrive. Just give me a second here. Okay, yeah. Aishun is sat in meditation when you arrive by the small shrine. There's not much to it, and his hut is a rather modest sort of lean-to arrangement.
Greetings.
He slowly opens his eyes, looks up to you, and bows. Greetings, my lord. Are you here to pray, to meditate, to make an offering?
I can make an offering. I don't have much of my character sheet up at the moment. There we go. I don't have much by way of coin on me, but yes, I will pray with you.
All right. Yeah.
I'll drop a silver in the box.
That's a big tip.
That is a big tip. So.
Well, I'm not going to ask him to break it with the coinage.
You could just say, I'll have my man come and give you a donation later.
He'll drop a copper coin in. Just something would do. But he encourages you to sit and to meditate with him.
All right.
But you're at full chi and everything, so that's not really gonna do much for you there. So you sit in peace and meditate with him and pray for a while. He prays for a resolution to the haunting and the passing on of the unquiet spirit, and he also blesses your endeavor while you're in the village. But he's not particularly spiritually powerful, so you don't get an actual blessing. And then you're done. So, what brings you then to our humble shrine, if not offering?
Well, I'm here about the ghastly things going on in your village. my lord has sent me to investigate with an associate of mine.
And what have you found so far?
We haven't found any evidence of a spirit, but it's certainly strange that the granary stays damp like that. We were told you put a
Shimanoa rope.
Shimanoa rope around the.
I don't have a great deal of experience with these things, but I thought the rope might serve to at least stop the thing having its influence elsewhere around the village. It quieted for a night, but then people began to hear the noises again. I suspect it comes in the night, and that's when you'll see it again.
I'm just wondering if there's anything more to it. Spirit, what causes these hauntings? Spiritual impurities?
Spiritual impurity, a violent and unjust death, an unclean death, improper burial, curses. There are many things that can create a ghost.
And why would the ghost be haunting the granary? We don't know the...
I couldn't say, my lord, but they say it has an abacus and keeps an accounting. Perhaps something to do with the records?
I have them right here.
Well, I wish you luck in sorting through them then, my lord. Perhaps there's something wrong in the records, but why would that cause someone to haunt the granary? It doesn't make a great deal of sense to me.
Apparently it was repeating, how does 7 become 9? Does that sound like anything? I know numbers can be sacred.
7 becomes 9 by adding 2 to 7, or taking 2 away from 9. That's the best I can offer. I am no mathematician.
Just going through my notes. Well, I do thank you. If you think of anything else, please come find me. We'll be staying likely at the... Was there an inn in this town?
It was tea house.
You can stay at the... Yeah, we'll be likely staying at the tea house.
I wish you luck, my lord. Wait here one moment. He scurries off into his lean-to. You hear rummaging around, and he emerges with a paper charm and a fuda, my lord, to protect you against the evil spirit.
My thanks. I take that. It's like a scroll, right?
Yeah, like a little paper charm, almost like a purity seal from Warhammer.
I didn't want to invite that comparison.
The thing they stick on hopping vampires' heads in Hong Kong action cinema. Yeah. Well, I shall pray for you and your companion to have success. And you're welcome here anytime to pray or make more offerings.
My thanks again. And I will head out and look for Chobe.
All right. So, yeah, after a few hours, it's wearing on into evening. You can meet up at the tea house, have a simple repast and some tea, and exchange notes. So just assume you both know everything that each other saw and said, and you can plan your next move. Let me just give you the description of the tea house. Wherever it's gone. Okay, so the tea house is on the Western Road Fork, and since harvest is over and a lot of people are idle, there's quite a few gossiping villagers in here. The owner is Oye, a 50-year-old woman with a long-suffering husband who just sits in the back of the tea house drinking sake and tea all day and all night. It's rustic, but the food is at least filling, though it is notable that even though it's immediately after harvest, she's not serving rice.
So, Mal Chobe told me everything he found.
Yeah, we're just going to assume that you each caught each other up.
All right. So if these records here don't prove what you were if these records here prove what you were saying, that could be the first part of our little mystery here. But I think, and again, this is just my presumption, but I think someone uncovered the skimming and was murdered for it. And I have a suspicion they were buried underneath the water wheel. There's something wrong with it. It's stuck. Could be nothing, but...
Well, so they have, although they're short 20%, they do have enough rice to cover it. We should get them to organize and get the rice to the castle immediately, whether they like it or not. And I can account for it. So we can at least handle that. And then we can figure out what the ghost is or whatever.
All right. That isn't the way we typically do things, but in an emergency, I understand.
Well, especially if they're hiding something and they're purposely selling off or trading away the rice to someone else, then it should be going. If we make sure it goes to the castle, then they can't do that, and then we can get to the bottom of what is actually happening and still have the rice.
You said those brothers had new tools as well?
Yeah.
You saw them?
Oh, you told me in our little...
Yeah, no, but I mean, sorry, I was saying in character, you saw them too?
Oh, no. I simply going by your account.
Yeah, they were hanging on the wall. Very new compared to the dwelling that they're in.
Perhaps they are at fault. I don't know. I'm more of a head for battle than this.
And I for selling sake, but here we are. Should have sent a priest.
Well, they've got us.
Well, do you want to confront the headman and get a delivery together? Regardless of whether he likes it or not, we'll make accounts for it and get it on the road.
Let's do that tomorrow morning. How late is it?
I said it's getting on towards evening. You do have, so Chobe, you could probably confirm your suspicions 100% by going over these records.
Yeah, I will start looking through them in the evening while we're eating and afterwards.
Okay. Just give me a moment here. I need to look something up quickly. Okay. All right. Jiro is not a hugely useful mathematician, but he can read, so he can help you. Can you make a trade roll at +1 for his assistance, please?
Okay, one second. Bring up my page again.
And what do I roll to assist?
You don't have to roll anything in this instance. I'm just making it a +1.
All right. Is that going to be on D20 or D2D10?
You already have your suspicions. You're just seeking to confirm them. You're not under any huge amount of time pressure here. So make it 2D10.
All right. And I'll spend another chi to make sure I'm focused on my results. So I get that extra one. Yeah, not bad. So 17 plus total 5 then.
Okay.
So 22.
To you, the records seem to be purposefully disorganized. Like one year it's on a scroll, the next year it's on a flat folded piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
You do, however, identify that almost all the records are not made by the miller or the headman, but by someone called Munahisa. He signs it, and then the miller marks with an X, basically, or the equivalent thereof, to show that he accepts the accounts that are being kept. You haven't met a Munahisa yet that you know of in the village. So that might be a lead worth looking at. But you are now as certain as you can be that someone is deliberately skimming 20% off the top and falsifying the records so that 20% isn't noted by any taxman or anything coming through.
Okay. Make a parallel document that shows where the discrepancies are, and then which one it goes with, so I have proof. Like forensic accounting, basically, right? Yeah.
So yeah, as you finish up there, night has probably fallen outside. The lanterns are lit. And then you hear a blood-curdling scream coming from the granary.
I would take it that's the call for us to go and investigate. Jiro.
Yeah, I will charge towards the granary.
Okay.
I will walk behind him at a more sedate pace.
Jiro hurtles out of the tea house and runs down the street towards the granary. The lanterns around the granary haven't been lit, so you descend into a darkening pool of shadow as you get there. Then you see Bay, of the two peasants that you saw before, standing by the granary and pointing with a shaking hand towards the door. It's back, my lord.
You go home. I'll handle this.
Hi. And he runs as fast as he can away from you. Can you make a judgment defiance roll, please?
All right. D20?
Yes.
It's a natural 1. Anything good?
In this case, yes, because you're rolling under.
Yeah.
All right. Bai runs out of the relative light where you are and hovers at the edge of the village square that you're in, where he thinks he's out of sight from the shadows, looking back at you. So he's lingering there, despite your order.
All right, I will head inside.
Have I caught up?
Yes, you've caught up at a more sedate pace.
Do I see the lingering?
Make a judgment defiance check.
8. Right on 8.
Okay. Yes, you can see Bai lingering nearby, keeping an eye on proceedings.
I come up quietly behind him and just tap him on the shoulder with my bow staff.
Yeah. You shouldn't sneak up on people like that when there are ghosts abroad.
Yep, and you shouldn't be hiding in the shadows when my lord is facing your danger. Move forward, please.
He told me to leave, but I wanted to see what happens.
Yeah, so now you're going to go see much, much closer.
Fine. Right, meanwhile, Jiro approaches the door. The rope is retied across it. From inside, you can hear clicking noises, like an abacus.
I will step over the rope, or under it. I don't know how. I guess like waist height. Yeah. And then I will slowly open the door.
Okay. So you open the door, you hear clicking like the beads of an abacus, like tick, 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 rattle. Tick, 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 rattle. The floor is shiny and wet.
Is there anything moving about?
Make a judgment defiance roll, please.
All right. Under 9, yep.
Okay. So, tick, 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 rattle. You think you sense movement. You turn, and as you look, an abacus bead rolls across the boards and taps the end of your sandal.
Monahisa? Does anything happen?
There is no reply, but water is dripping down from above. A heavy droplet goes on the end of your nose.
Monahisa, if you are here, reveal yourself. I'm here to put you to rest.
There is no reply, but there is the click, click, click of another bead.
Please give me a sign if you can hear me or understand me.
Make another judgment defiance roll.
3. Doing good on these.
So you hear again the tick, tick, tick of the bead, and then the rattle as presumably it rolls across the ground somewhere. But as you're sort of holding your breath, listening, waiting for any sort of reply, you hear what sounds like a very, very shallow cough that's quickly stifled from high above you.
What is above me? Is there another floor, or is it just the rafters?
So it's quite a tall, cylindrical-ish storehouse. There's round shelving, up layers, so sack upon sack can be set apart from each other. And that goes all the way up to the top where it's capped off with wooden boards. Can you make another judgment defiance roll, please?
Oh my god. Let's see. 6, under 9.
Okay. You think that wooden cap is too low compared to the outside of the building. Like there's a void above it. And you would, there's a proper roof, so you'd expect there to be a little sort of attic section at the very top anyway, but those boards seem even lower than that to you. And the water is dripping from the roof. Another drop drops down and splats on your face.
Is there any way to climb up, or would I have to just make an athletics check?
Make an athletics check.
All right.
And this time sorry, what was that?
How far along is he? Like, have we caught up walking across to him?
Oh, you've caught up now. Yeah, you're stood outside as he's looking up. Yeah, you'd be making an athletics roll using a D20.
Since I'm
so dark, because it's dark and time pressure and all the rest of it. But athletics, I think, is this good.
Yeah.
We're standing outside. Oh, sorry, I keep cutting you off.
That's all right.
We're standing outside. Can we see any water coming down onto the roof, or is that definitely from that void inside?
It seems to be coming from inside.
I make sure to call that out to him.
Yeah.
All right. I definitely failed that one. The skill is 1, right? So I add that to what I rolled.
Yeah, it should be associated with a statistic that also gives you a bonus.
Yeah.
An attribute, sorry.
So that's just a +1. That gives me a 3.
Oh, you didn't add those together on the sheet?
I thought they were.
At the very end, yeah. On the final column. It says
so then it'll be D.
Oh,
yeah, so it'll be...
I've been using the wrong number.
No, it's... right, so yeah, that'll be D20 plus the total. So was that 3 then?
Yeah, 3.
Yeah, you might have want to make those a lot shorter.
Okay, you try to climb up the interior of the storehouse, sort of bracing yourself from shelf to shelf. You get up about 2 shelves, and then a dry rotted board gives way under your foot, and you fall back down. On the bright side, you weren't far enough up to really hurt yourself. The only thing that's harmed is your dignity.
Well, no one saw it except whoever's hiding up there.
So you don't lose face. You can try again.
All right. I'm gonna roll a different die this time.
You might want to.
Oh my god, no. Again, a 2. It really doesn't want me to succeed.
Okay, so you scramble and fail more. A couple of rice sacks fall down on top of you. What does Chobe want to do?
Well, I was going to mention to him about using the Zanshin and stuff, but we'll skip that part since he's already screwed it. Do I see him doing this?
You see vague movements and hear sacks falling down and a crunch of breaking wood, but you can't see directly.
So I go in and see what he's doing. Is there a light outside at all?
No.
Or anything?
No, nobody came close to the granary because they're scared, so nobody lit the lanterns around here. But as your eyes adjust to the dark, you can see Jiro shrugging his way free from a couple of fallen rice sacks.
It's very slippery.
What are you doing?
Trying to climb.
Here. Up that? I'll point to it and I'll take a shot at it.
Okay.
So that's 14 and my thing is 10. I'm not sure what the modifier for 10 is. 0. 14.
Okay. That's good.
Do I still have my Zanshin bonus? No.
Okay. So Chobe seems to be much better at climbing than you are. Must be all that armor you wear that gets in the way, I suppose. But Chobe manages to use the various shelves and pots and sacks as footholds and handholds and scrambles up the inside quite quickly. Can Chobe and just Chobe make a judgment defiance check, please?
Yeah, that's good. That's one of my good ones. 4 under 8.
Okay. You hear sort of the sound of rushes being parted, and then hear a long scraping sound that goes past you and down the outside of the granary. But you do reach the top.
Can I see what it is that's running?
There's no windows in the granary.
No, I'm sticking my head through the rushes.
But you'll have to get these boards out of the way first.
Okay. Is there an obvious loose board?
You're climbing in the dark, you kind of bonked your head slightly against them, and they lifted easily, so you're able to shove them out of the way easy enough.
Well, shove it out of the way, see if there's who's running from the...
Okay.
Obviously, someone slid down it, and now he's running.
A couple of the boards tumble down into the granary below you. Can Takamori make a agility defiance roll, please?
All right.
Not to get conked on the noggin by a falling board.
Continue to roll low. Under 9.
Yes.
Yep.
Good. Okay. A board tumbles and smacks into the ground near to you. All right. Chobe makes his way up into this little mini attic space. The genuine attic space stops higher above. So someone has scraped in and put in a sort of false cover here. And then the rushes of the thatch have been pushed out of the way. Someone has scrambled out and slid down the side of the granary.
All right. Can I give chase?
Well, Chobai hasn't told you that yet, and he's
Oh,
the only
right.
one that knows.
Okay.
Have I seen the person? Like that's what I was waiting to find out.
The person is gone. You can stick your head out of the reeds. It's dark, really dark. Take 5 away from your judgment save and make a judgment save.
Okay. Can I spend chi on that?
Yes.
How do I spend chi on judgment?
1 for 1 to reduce what you roll, or you can spend for a reroll once.
Right. I'll save it for the reroll, which I have to reroll. It was worth it. 3.
Okay.
8 minus 5 is 3.
You can't make out much in the way of detail, but you see 2 fleeing shadows running together back towards the Iron and Bay farm. So clearly, they're not very clever.
Throw my Tonto as hard as I can at one of them.
Let's see. Yeah, they've had a turn to run. That's probably... what's the thrown range on those? I'll just let you make an attack.
I'm also up above them, and
Yeah. No point being bureaucratic about it. I am going to impose a -2 penalty for the darkness, though, to your attack.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to blow my last 2 chi to get rid of that.
Yeah.
I ain't got squat, so it's just straight up die roll. Okay. I'm going to tell you what I rolled, which is a natural 20. You'll think it's bullshit, but it really is a natural 20. But
okay,
yeah,
so
it
roll
like bullshit, but it really is.
Roll again and add on.
11.
Okay, so 31 plus your
nothing
attack bonus, which was nothing. So that's 31.
Yeah, I don't see an attack bonus on here anywhere for him.
It's dark, which I said was a -2 penalty, so that takes it to 29, and their natural defense. I canceled
the -2 penalty. Remember?
Oh, okay.
I canceled.
And their natural defense is 5.
All right, 2 cheap.
What's your maximum damage with your Tanto?
Whatever it is. Is it 8?
Okay.
Oh wait a minute, my strength. See, this is why I said the other way works better.
It should already be calculated on those sheets.
Okay. Well, it's 8 then.
Okay. Right. Need to find their stat blocks. Random peasant. Ordinary villager. There we go. Health 9. So you'd nearly kill him, or at least nearly take him out. All right. You hurl your blade into the darkness, trusting to luck and the spirits. It disappears into the dark, and then you hear a sort of meaty thonk noise and a scream of pain.
I hear that as well.
Yes.
Can I make out the direction?
You can if you make a judgment defiance roll.
All right.
I assume he went down with that. Like I hear
another natural one. All right.
He'll at least have been slowed down.
I can't roll high at all, but that's good.
But low you can. Yes, you zero in on exactly the right position. You guys are both uninjured. You can easily catch up to them if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, okay. I will anyway. Can't say what he's gonna do.
Oh no, I'm headed after them, or wherever the scream came from.
All right, so both of you dash along the banks and the sort of low wooden bridges that they have for moving between the paddies when they're flooded, and easily catch up to I and Bay, who are about halfway back to their hut now.
So who's got the dagger sticking out of him?
I has the dagger sticking out of his left buttock.
If I had another one, the other guy would get one too.
Bay drops his brother and wheels around at you both, looking terrified. What are you doing?
Stopping you.
We're solving the problem, as I said.
We were just fleeing the ghost. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, you weren't.
I saw you hiding. I told you to go home.
And I saw you sliding down the reeds off the roof into the muck, and then I threw my dagger into him.
We were running away, and you
No,
this thing
you're
had us
lying.
in the dark.
Do you want to walk with us, or do I wait till my lord takes one of your heads first? I'm really waiting to see you do this one, Jiro.
You want me to? It specifically says I'm not an asshole. So
trying to not be an asshole.
Tempered, yeah.
We have two of them.
Give me a second.
We can afford to get rid of one. The worst part is that we're joking in players, but my character is saying relatively that same sort of thing.
Yeah, because he believes I should be doing that. That's that does conflict with my following my duty. So
right, Bay panics and hauls out his blade, his shiny new reaping blade. He's not fast enough to get surprise on either of you, so can you roll initiative, please? D20 plus your initiative score.
Where's initiative?
What can Chi do? Does it allow for rerolls or
lots of things? You can use it to reduce incoming damage, to boost outgoing damage, to boost skill rolls, to make rerolls.
Zanshin bonus.
Yeah, I can activate your Zanshin bonus.
My
Zanshin do that because it's for the turn.
It's plus 0.
Plus, everyone's got a special ability. Don't forget that. Abilities.
Okay, what did you get for initiative?
I got a initiative is skill, or it's just up top.
Should be a separate stat.
It's under combat stats. It's like right in the middle.
Oh, that's not bad. I don't think 14.
Yeah. Is that the total you got, or?
Yeah, that's the total.
Okay, 14.
Yeah, with my base 11, I got a mighty 13.
Okay. Right. Now, you can choose to go at any initiative from 0 through to what you rolled. So you don't have to go at that. They are going on 17 and 13. So you can choose to take your highest initiative and go first, but that then allows enemies to react to what you're doing. Or you can choose to go last, and therefore you get to see everything that's going on before you decide to intervene. So choose your initiatives from 1 to... Then
13.
Then we jostle between who's got the highest agility type score.
My agility's 10.
So that's plus 0, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you would go before I.
So Jiro,
when do you want to go?
I'll go at 14.
Okay.
So one of them gets to go first.
Yeah.
The one who's not got the dagger up his butt.
Yes. All right. So now that his dagger's out, he's not terribly clever, so let's just randomize who he attacks. He goes for Chobei with his blade. He's not doing anything funky, so it's just a straightforward attack with a farming implement. So he gets D20 minus 1.
I have a bow staff, so I get the 2 on my defense if I go all defensive.
Yeah.
For longer weapon. So I'll go all defensive, so that'll give me 10 plus the 2, so 12.
12 for base defense. Okay. He rolled a 16, minus 1.
Well, 12 for base defense, but I still get to roll, right? Don't I get to add?
If you want to use one of your reactions to defend, then
Yeah, that's
you
all I'm
roll
doing.
it. Yeah, and you use your weapon skill.
I'm not a fighter. I'm not fighting during any of this.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Okay, so you use one of your reactions and roll with
24.
your bow stuff. 24. Okay, you easily ward off his attack. As he flails at you ineffectually with his hook, which isn't really a weapon, and you're easily able to knock his arm away. Right, Jiro.
The one attacking Chobe, I will use my Aijutsu, draw and strike stun.
Yeah. Okay, so you get to do that as a single action, but at a penalty. So make your attack roll.
All right.
I do have a question. Is there a way for him to be merciful if he goes for the, like, if it's going to kill the guy, is there a way for him to pull the blow? Like, because we're trying to intimidate them and bring them in, not actually kill them. Right?
I think I did put a rule in the book, but I can't remember it offhand easily. But I will allow you to. I will allow you to pull the blow if you want.
Hit him with the flat of the blade, or
or just don't cut him through the neck, right?
Yeah.
don't cut him in half.
Mildly gut him, but don't.
So with your penalty, what did you get on attack?
So it's an attack bonus, or do I just add muscle?
So it'd be the skill bonus next to your katana, right? But your stunt with Aijutsu reduces the penalty for doing a draw and strike. So you will be a penalty. I think it's -3 off the top of my head. But otherwise, you cancel that out against your katana skill and roll and add or subtract whatever's left.
Make sure you use the whole skill. Don't do like I've been doing.
So that's terrible. That's a 7. I rolled a natural 1.
Okay, so that's technically
I got 3 dice here that I've been rolling, and none of them are doing what I want. But
can I trade you? You can have one of my dice.
You could spend a chi to reroll.
Oh right, I will do that.
Or I think you have a special ability as a samurai that lets you reroll an attack anyway. I think.
Where's that located? Or
once per session, there should be this like three class abilities next to each other. It's like practiced strike or
mystic capable. No, it's mystic.
No,
capable. No.
Just read down through the 3 of them.
Jiro.
Right. Apologies.
Let's just spend the chi for now.
There it is.
Let's just roll it. There we go.
Measured cut, it's called, under heroic abilities, just beneath your social stuff. On page 2, I think. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. Once per combat. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
what did you get? Sorry?
Was perfect. 25.
25 to attack. Okay. So. And what's the maximum damage with your katana?
It is 22/24. Is that for
24 when you use both hands, 22 one-handed. But if you do rapid pull, it'll be one-handed. So maximum 22. All right. Here's base defense.
Right?
Yeah.
Hang on. His base defense is 5. So he's definitely going to use his reaction to try and defend himself against you, which is better than 5, but not by much. So that's 10. So we take your 25, we take away 10, that leaves 15. He has an armor of 1, and that drops it to 14. 14 is within your maximum damage. He has 9 health. Okay, so we're going to let you pull your blow. So you just want to take him out without killing him?
Yeah, just bonk.
Well, You cut him pretty viciously, but deliberately across the flesh rather than digging into anything that's going to spurt and explode like a Kurosawa movie. He screams and drops to the ground. His expensive new tool falling off the side of the bridge into the mud. All right, so he is effectively taken out. You have another action, I think, if you want.
All right. Can I use command? No, that's for an ally. Authority of rank. Once per session, gain +2 to a social rule when involving duty, service, or your higher status. That doesn't really apply.
You could invoke your samurai authority to tell this other guy to surrender.
That's what I was looking for. So I just rolled D20.
Hang on a second. Let's see.
The other guy's only got 1 point that you have to knock out. Just smack him with your fist.
I do have unarmed.
Seriously, just backslap.
If you want to order in, you can make a rhetoric roll, and you can invoke that bonus if you want.
All right.
Then backslap him.
Well, if all else fails.
So D20.
So that would be a 14.
Okay. So it's definitely going to succeed in intimidating him because he's wounded. Does he manage to resist the intimidation, though? So he gets to make a defiance roll, but he's heavily wounded, so that's penalized, which leaves him with no chance whatsoever unless I roll a 1. I do not roll a 1. All right. He was beginning to painfully fumble for his blade, but then he stops and lifts his arms out of the way. Okay. Combat over. We didn't even get as far as an environmental turn. Okay, you smack him in the head with your stick and he falls unconscious. All right, you've captured them.
I don't trust them. Because I want to make sure we get the knives away from him. Because I don't want him like stabbing Jiro in the back and then killing me.
What do you want to do with them?
Armor. Yeah, let's tie them up. Do you have a rope? I think.
Yeah, I have binding.
All right.
Okay.
And bring them to the headman's house.
Yeah, I do the thing with the sleeves when you bind them.
Yeah. I would make you make a binding roll to see how difficult it would be to escape, but I figure they're beaten down enough. They're not even going to try. So where are you taking them?
To the headman's house, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. So you drag them back into town and up to the headman's house. Waking up the people inside because they're old and therefore already asleep, plus farmers. But yeah, a very tired looking headman comes down a little ladder from his loft bed and hobbles over. Someone attacked? What happened to them?
There you ghost.
The haunting is over. This is why the priest could not stop the spirits from returning. All that's left is to find...
What was the name of the person who signed for everything? We have to find that person.
Monahisa.
Yeah. Monahisa, he's my clerk.
Yes, we need him here now.
I'll fetch him. And he starts to hobble away. One sec.
By the way, I unceremoniously removed my Tanto from A-hole's butt. Bring that back. I got one of those.
He who shall pull the Tanto from the butt shall become the king of Japan. Okay. I should have taken the time to organize this better, but I wanted to show how the tables can produce a coherent adventure. Okay. After a while, the headman returns with a very confused-looking village clerk. And they come in through the front door, shucking off their shoes, and are confronted with you two and two bloodied, impoverished farmhands. Munahisa is a typical reedy-looking clerk with ink-stained fingers, and he looks very sluggish and sleepy. But you do see alarm registering on his face when he sees the two captured men.
When they go to get him, I excuse myself and go to the tea house, get the scrolls and the papers, and come back because I know what I'm looking for. And then when he comes in, I'll say, Jiro, if you don't mind. And then I take out the paperwork, as I made that other ledger of what was missing, and confront him with it. Does he say anything? Confront him with it?
The color drains from his face, but he doesn't say anything.
So, I think you need to lose your head. Or you could start talking very quickly.
But I haven't done anything.
Look. My foot, you haven't. You've been stealing rice. For years, you've been stealing rice. And hiding it and getting these dumb fools to sign on for you. So who you sell it to?
I don't know what you're talking about.
My lord, I think you need to cut something off him. That'll get him to talk. Maybe maybe
perhaps we should go outside.
Oh, you want to talk instead?
We can talk.
Numbers don't lie.
I was only doing what Gorobei told me to do. You little bastard.
I
take you in under my roof. I've raised you as my own son. And this is how you treat me with these vile and false accusations. And they're not false. It was his order.
Is there anyone else
I have it figured out right here
in this town that's in on this?
The miller. Spare me. I will tell you everything. If you spare me, he drops down onto his knees on the floor and grovels at Jiro's feet. Please, my lord. I didn't want to do it. He made me do it.
I don't know, my lord. I like do the bowing thing in front of Jiro. I don't know, my lord. I think you should at least take a hand, maybe both. Just we can make sure that he's not lying.
I don't see how that confirms he's not lying. Unless
I think it'll confirm something.
Please, my lord, no. I will slave away.
I'm trying to make sure we intimidate him. So
when I was very young and Gorobei took me in, he took me into his confidence. The old clerk had fiddled the numbers for him, and he wanted me to do the same. But I was family, so we've hidden our rice. We've kept some back to tide us over in dark years, or to sell for additional money to help the village, or at least to help those of us who were in on it. We tried spreading the story about the ghost so that people wouldn't investigate too closely, and I hired these men to pretend to be a ghost. It didn't keep everyone away.
You should have known this was going to happen sooner or later.
Yes, but there was a traveling clerk who seemed to think something was wrong. He stuck his nose where he shouldn't, and one thing led to another, and he died.
He was murdered, you mean?
Yes. Please don't punish me. And he starts to sob and cough.
I will draw my sword now and say, where is the body?
He tries to answer, but it sounds like he's choking.
What's going? What do we see when he's choking?
Does it look like he's choking?
As you look down, there's water sinking into the reed matting around where he's groveling at Jiro's feet, and Jiro feels a splash of cold water on his toes. The clerk is vomiting up water. He rears back, clutching at his throat, and the water's just welling up out of his mouth, soaking down the front of his body.
I turn to Gorobei. Did you bury him under the mill? Or not the water wheel?
Turn to Gorobei?
No, we dumped the body in the old cistern under the granary. We couldn't bury it anywhere people would see, and it hasn't been used in years. Monahisa continues to choke and starts clawing at Jiro's legs. Help me!
I'm sorry. I can't help you, but I can release you.
Grim, who was the spirit again? This was the
so this spirit must be this traveling clerk or accountant.
Yeah, he said the name. I just didn't catch it.
He didn't.
Oh, didn't he? I thought he said the name.
No.
No, I was the one who thought Monahisa was the one doing it earlier. Or the one who got killed.
The lanterns flicker and blow out one by one, and the room is filled with a pale bluish glow, and slowly manifests a bloated corpse in ragged remnants of his clothing, with an abacus tucked under one hand.
So I look at the headman. Goes, wow, I guess you're next.
Please, my lord, save us.
No, we're
surely your first duty is to the living.
No, we're going to step back and let the spirit do its thing. And dear spirit, we will provide you proper burial after you take your revenge. Thank you. And I step out of the way.
The abacus clicks itself under his arm, counting off.
I will protect you, but we are finding this body.
Yeah, no, my lord. He made this situation. Let the spirit deal with them. We will. How else
can we properly put this ghost to rest?
It's 7 when it should be 9, he says, and Monahisa gurgles his last as he drowns on dry land.
We will give him a proper burial and make sure he gets proper rites after he does his thing. Why interfere with the good spirit's revenge?
I sheath my sword. Then let us take
Please, my lord.
Yeah. We just step back. Let the spirit have its way.
The ghost turns its baleful glare upon the headman. It's 7, and it should be 9. And the headman starts to gurgle and choke. His wife screams and tries to help him.
I look at the records. So do I see the part where it's 7 and it should be 9? Because that should be like the last entry.
Yep.
Yeah, and I verify that with Jiro. I'm like, last entry.
All right. The headman gurgles his last quite quickly as well. The water pouring out of his mouth turns pink with blood as things rupture inside him. The ghost turns its head then upon the 2 injured men, and they have little left to resist its power, and soon they're gurgling and choking together, holding on to each other in terror as they too are drowned, and the ghost slowly turns, leaving soaking wet footprints on the ground, and starts to walk out, passing through, as in through, the doors, leaving them soaking and rotting as it does. You hear shrieks of alarm outside.
Yeah, I'll follow to make sure it goes back to its rest, and that way too I know where the body is, so we can then deal with the body.
It slowly marches out.
Under the cistern.
Yeah, it slowly marches out.
We don't know where the cistern is.
Yeah, it slowly marches out to the water wheel. passes through the wall, then you hear screaming and choking from inside there, and the same intonation. It's 7 when it should be 9. And presumably that's the miller done for.
Yep.
The ghost stomps its way through the wall and out of the watermill. It seems to be able to pass through objects, but every motion it has weight and leaves large wet footprints everywhere it touches. And it slowly wanders back to the granary and steps through the wall there and vanishes.
Does it sink back into the floor where the body is?
If you're following it that closely, you throw open the doors, and its glowing body sinks through the floor.
Yeah,
down below.
Because I told him to make sure that he's properly buried and rites given.
Yeah. Right, so you pry up the boards, and you find that the earth here is humped up. So the earth was hitting the bottom floor of the granary and allowing the damp to creep in. But the soil here is all loose. Just really takes your hands to dig down a little bit, and you find a lead-lined and stone-capped cistern beneath where they used to keep emergency supplies of water. And a horrible stench rises out of that watery pit when you lift off the end cap.
Well, looks like I have a dirty job to do.
I cannot touch the dead. It is not my station.
I start taking my kimono off. Oh, no. I know.
And you'll still have to cleanse yourself afterwards, but that's what shrines are for. With a bit of help from Jiro, you're able to scramble down into the cistern. It hasn't been used in some time, but damp obviously accrues in here over time. It's just barely enough to completely submerge the bloated body that you find beneath. Between you, you're able to hoist and lift and squeeze the bloated body and his abacus up through the opening. You find some soaked paperwork confirming his name. He worked as a minor clerk at the town that you came from. And I didn't give him a name. No, here we are. Sadayoshi. But between you and the shrine keeper, you'll be able to bury him and sanctify the grave. Probably stay another night. The villagers are all terrified of you now. You're the 2 famous wanderers who came in and faced down a ghost and let people be murdered in front of them, even though it was the appropriate thing to do. And no ghost returns that night, so presumably things held. Sorry I rushed there a bit at the end, but I haven't been particularly well, and my back hurts a lot. So yeah, that will be the end of the adventure. We skipped a few things, which I will just explain to the people watching. So normally at the beginning of a session, everyone gets given an experience dice. That's what you use for experience later, and it's also a get out of jail free card if you're like one-shotted by something, to make characters a little bit more resilient. Normally at the beginning of a session, the games master will also make available experience cards, and these are little things to do with the theme or the mood, or little side quests or things that you want people to engage with. And if they do engage with those things that are listed on the cards, then you get additional experience dice. So that's a way of encouraging players to engage with parts of the plot that they might not otherwise get engaged with. So in this adventure, it might have been something like help clear the last of the fields, or repair the water wheel, or there's all kinds of possibilities that you can use. It will depend at your table, and you don't have to add additional ones, but you can. And then usually at the end of an adventure, you'll also get an additional experience dice. You then roll those experience dice against a table for your character type, and that gives you what you can raise, but you can only raise one thing. So the more experience dice you have, the more opportunity you have to roll something that you want, and then you take that character advancement. I and Bai were not part of the adventure, as you can tell from the names, but I decided they needed a couple of flunkies to pretend to be the ghosts and to be sort of general strongmen or whatever around the village. Not that they were particularly that, but they were poor and stupid and willing to do stuff. So they were paid off and they spent their money getting the blades. The ghost. So the ghost is customized from some of the other types of ghosts that can be found in the bestiary, which is in Three Kendall Crown, which is the second book, which has all the stuff if you want supernaturals and magic and so on. He was an earthbound spirit with poltergeist abilities and a thematic drowning ability. So you can customize ghosts because it's usually something to do with how they died or how they were disposed of or something like that. So his ability allowed him to create the sensation of drowning, and I allowed him to amp that up a little bit more to actually cause people who were guilty of his death to be drowned in return. Was there anything else missed? There wasn't really much important that you didn't investigate. Manahisa turned up later than he probably should have in the adventure, but that's fine. We didn't do combat long enough for an environmental action. It's a very deadly game, but I think the combat is still satisfying in part because it's so deadly. But normally, if you get through a full turn, you have what's called an environmental action at the end. That's when you do all the bookkeeping. So if someone's on fire or poisoned or whatever, that's when you take care of all that so it doesn't get mixed up with everything else. And it also allows the games master or sensei to dictate something that happens on the battlefield to change what's occurring. So if the fight had gone for another round on the bridge on the way to the small farm, I could have said something like one of the boards breaks and the bridge pitches to one side, make an agility defiance roll, or you fall into the mud. Right? So that could have been something that I could do. Or a night bird flies between you, or you can just use it for atmospherics if you want. So it helps make the battlefield dynamic and stops fights just being chop, 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 which a lot of games it turns into. We used a couple of stunts, like the Aijutsu draw. There are some stunts that anyone can pull off, and that's really just down to Games Master's discretion. There is a flat -5 penalty for doing something cool, but it can pay off. So that's it might be worth trying. And then the stunts is just you're more practiced at doing that sort of thing. So anyone could try and draw and strike in one action, but they'd be at -5 to their attacks. And most of the time, it's not worth it. For someone who's more practiced, like Jiro, it can be worth it. And it was, because you get to draw and strike in a single action. Does anyone in the chat, since we have like nearly 60 people watching, does anyone have any questions? I will give you a couple of minutes to pile them in. Wow. So, Mike, you haven't played before. You just watched us playing, right?
Yep.
Seem all right to you? You say yes?
Yeah, I just wanted to kick the tires a little bit more, maybe test out some more mechanics. But I'm happy with what I got to do. I usually play more of a sneaky guy than the the leader.
There was a shinobi character, but yeah, I guess you took that one.
I just like the stunts. I wanted to try them.
Yeah, stunts are flexible. I mean, you can kind of see that I've lifted the stunts partially from my machinations of the Space Princess game because they work in a very similar way to that. Let's see. First place. How do you recover chi? Chi seems quite useful. Chi is quite useful and essential if you're a magic using character. You regain chi through rest, primarily. A good meal and a good nap. But you can also regain it on a slightly faster basis by taking time to meditate. You get more chi by enhancing your body, by raising your statistics, because that's like a generalized measure of how much vital force there is in your body. and by raising your meditation skill. And there are some stunts and mystic abilities and things that can raise your chi as well.
When you're making your character, because of chi means that for fighters, you don't necessarily want all your mental stats to be dump stats, because those are the ones that give you the base chi amount. As someone, my other character for the other game, he has a very high chi, and it makes a huge difference when he's fighting.
Does Chobe's Tento have to be cleansed since he threw it into the bad guy's butt? Blood is somewhat unclean, so probably, but he hit the cheek, not the hole, so only mildly cleansed. Can items carry chi, so you might have an extra supply? So technically, there could be some magical items, and it can be a quality of some magical items that they can store chi. So that's one thing. Even in the full-on magical version of the game, magic items are meant to be rare and meaningful. So carrying things around as chi batteries isn't really in keeping, but you could do it. You could also have potions or magical teas and things that you could drink to restore your chi. That's a bit more in keeping, though perhaps a bit more in keeping with Chinese mythology than Japanese mythology. But despite what more recent history suggests, Japan used to very much look to China for everything, culturally, and when it comes to mythology and stuff as well. So it's not that far out. Kappa sometimes steal magical gems from people's buttholes, which do store chi, so they can string those together on like Buddha beads, you know. And so some old, very powerful Kappa will have these necklaces of magical beads that they've yanked out of people's butthole. Japan is obsessed with buttholes.
Buttholes. I was just thinking about that other monster.
Yeah. There's another one that reaches up your butt and steals your liver. There's a lot of buttholes. There's one that shows its butt and it's got an eye in it.
Eyeball.
Yeah. There's all kinds of stuff. But yeah, you could, in theory, you could steal the magical necklace from an incredibly ancient and powerful Kappa, and that would act as a chi store for you. Yes. Well, it's thematic as well, because it's all about flow and breath and things like that. All right. Does anyone else have any questions? Otherwise, I'm gonna take the strain off my back and go and lie down for a bit. Anyone? Bueller?
In the chat or us?
Well, either. I will briefly show off the book again. I do have another couple of print proofs that have come in. There's a slight problem with those, but that was my fault. But I will probably show those off on my regular channel tomorrow. Don't forget to like, subscribe, etc. while you're here. Looks like that's about it. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you for playing. I don't know what's going on in terms of my schedule coming up next week. I think I have an interview tomorrow and the day after. And then next week, I know I've got a couple of interviews that are right at the end of the Kickstarter, and then I may try and live stream running up to the end of the Kickstarter to see how we do there. But keep an eye on my socials, or make sure you're getting the updates from the Kickstarter, and I will let you know. Otherwise, it's bedtime for Bozo. So, nighty night.
Good night.
See ya.
Real Grim. What are we gonna do?
Grim. That's how it looks.
I'll take Grim right now.
I am the Grim Reaper. It's grim.
Grim bosses are good.
And make it grim. A grim tale indeed. It's a little grim. Meaningless and grim. It's the Grim!
grim.
Pretty grim, huh?
Things look grim